Hey guys, okay, so I wanted to say one thing that I thought was really, really interesting, and maybe you all probably knew about this already, but I wanted to cover this topic because I knew that it was time to specifically give you guys the details, and I will post a story on my Instagram to let you guys know about this specific topic. So Caucasians have, and not all Caucasians, because they are different now because of some are waking up and understanding, and then some just. But if you think that you are, exempt from this statement, then you're free of your own thoughts. But I did want to say that Caucasians, they like to do scientific experiments, and they've been doing scientific experiments for many, many years. And this is the reason why they were able to invade Africa or certain parts of America and, take people's land and their lives and, you know, the things that they had that were valuable, materialistic things, because they didn't know how to do certain things like eat or bathe or things like that that has been recorded in ancient scripture. So we taught Caucasians how to do a lot of things, and over the time they have became the ones who learned from us, but also tried to rob us. And sometimes they did rob us, but they were never amounted creative enough to do anything. And this is the reason why people of color, African Americans, and other people of color are the true gods within this world. And God is exposing them because of the knowledge that people are given now to give other people a better insight about how the world was interrupted with them coming along with different ideas in order for them to establish themselves. But they could have done it in a righteous way, but instead they done it in a way that was out of gluttony, and it was to gain access to control, and they've done that in many manipulative ways. So I wanted to say that, the reason why I wanted to say that, Caucasians would do scientific experiments, and not only because of that, is because instead of, let's say for instance, if someone was to ask for help and they're pleading out for help, and they're saying, like for instance, I can use myself for an example. I had lost my job due to racism, and I had called the call. Well, I wouldn't say Caucasian. I called for help on my social media and made a GoFundMe, and I've gotten certain donations, but there were certain people within a certain amount of power who had you know, the financial resources to actually, you know, pay my rent for like a year or find me an apartment, but it was like you were asking for help, and then, I ended up eventually got me my place, but it took me a while, but there were some things to see for other people to witness that some people are chosen gods. We're all gods. All melanated people are gods. And whenever you see a spiritual person who should be protected, and someone has the finances, and it's not about money, but it is something that can help. Whenever you see someone with, financial stability, it's okay to help that person out, especially if they're massively, advertised within the world for the world to see. I've gone through shelters that I didn't like and I didn't feel comfortable in, and I've also gone through other things like, I tent or I slept in my car. I stayed with a family member and it didn't work out because we're totally different. And this is the reason why I said it's really important for people to understand that Caucasians love to do scientific experiments, because instead of instead of them helping someone that they realize who they are, because I didn't know I was Michael. I didn't know that I was a copy of Michael, and scientifically another Michael would appear during this time when the planets are lined up. I did not know that. And there's different other people who are another image of different gods and pharaohs that were here, and goddesses that were here from centuries ago in the ancient world. They are appearing back now. And this is why you're seeing a lot of people represent African American and Black culture everywhere more often now. And it's more strong because of they're waking up to who the troublemakers were and who were the cause of it, which were the Caucasians, because they were listed in ancient script. And some of them were taken out so that people would not overreact. And that was the reason why. But after I was noticed that I was after I realized and noticed that I am the replica of Michael Jackson, I had realized that when Michael comes back, he is going to give the gospel and give the blueprint to how to save the world and keep people alive and for everyone to live prosperously. Now, the replica of Michael was that he's going to be, pretending to be angry, pretending to be feisty and things like that, but he's not, and he's not going to harm anyone. He doesn't even plan on doing it. He does have a sweet heart and a sweet personality and doesn't have the desire to harm anyone, and people can see that, but the way that he's writing it, you should tell, the way that he's expressing himself in certain ways, you should be able to tell that he's had enough and he's ready for a change. And it's up for everyone else to act upon it. And, there's certain people who, we all have power, and there's certain people who have a little bit more abilities than other people. So, I had no idea that I was going to be, sharing the gospel on my Instagram and things like that, but I was schooled within the science of how alchemy worked and how reincarnation works and how gods reappear again in a newer form of life. And I was one of them. And this is the reason why I said, instead of, because some people who already knew this science knew that I was Michael. And it was really, really challenging because, I'm like, okay, well, what's the deal with Michael? Once you find Michael, are you going to save him and help him and give him, take him out so that he can, because Michael is supposed to be king. And the reason why, and Michael will be king, because he is, and there's other kings out there, but, doesn't mean king literally, but yeah, it means like there are multiple kings out there, not just me. The melanated male is a king regardless. And of course, a melanated woman is a queen regardless. And so I was sleeping in my car for a while. I was in the shelter for a while. I slept at my family member's house and I didn't want to be there and things like that. And I felt like I was living in complete hell sometimes, but I felt like I was living like heaven from within, even though my circumstances, I always felt like heaven was within me. So, and it is, because it's all a mind thing. So I was a little bit upset because I was like, oh my gosh, I'm still out here in my car. These people know who I am. Come and get me already. Do not do a scientific experiment. Come and get me, because I don't want to say anything that is out of line or out of place when, I don't intend to harm anyone, but I have to let people know how truly I feel about certain things because it's the gospel and it's been written in ancient script. And this is the reason why I said, Some people was a little bit, upset because they felt like some of the things that I've written on my Instagram was threatening, or some of the videos that I've posted were a little bit, too much. And, they didn't understand that that's the beauty of exposing certain things, because it's truth and it's of God, and I have figured out a way to heal my body naturally from all diseases and from all type of sicknesses or anything. And it's all been given to us from the mind. You have to take it out of your mind and reinvent it, because it's been programmed to do one thing, to believe everything that's negative. And once you get your mind motivated enough to understand how powerful your mind is and how it can reinvent certain things, then you'll be able to understand that you are your own doctor. You are your own doctor. And also your own therapist and your own, healer and provider. And there are other gods out there that are willing to help, and that also are helping. So I just wanted to let you guys know that, because, we had the answers to healing our bodies and ourselves from centuries ago, but the Caucasians wanted to do a scientific experiment, and they wanted to do the chemicals and add the artificial flavor and all this extra stuff. But really, you only needed natural things in order to survive. It's just that the demand for meat and the monies and things like that had made people believe that that's something that they need and want. But really, they want to be healthy, and they want to have a different lifestyle that's going to make them feel better. And it's a complete opposite of what the Caucasians have programmed people to think it's okay to continue to do. So that was the scientific experiment that I was talking about. Another thing is that, I have been saved. I've got my own place now, and I've got myself, a car to drive and things like that. But there's an award waiting, but I wanted it to come immediately. Now, it's a mind thing. I have everything I want and I need right now. So all those other things are just materialistic things. But it would be nice, to have those things, sooner, and it's nothing wrong with wanting it sooner, because, it's just something that it makes you vibrate higher. Not to saying that, we cannot vibrate higher without it, because that's the trick, that's an enslaving mind to think that you need that to vibrate higher when you don't. But the scientific experiment was for them to see how long I will be able to last. But really, it backfired on them, because they have no choice but to accept that I am God, and that other black people are God, and we are the natural healers, and we don't need anything that Caucasians need to present, like doing scientific experiments, because the answer is already written and already showing itself. So that is the reason why I would like to say that, certain Caucasians love to do scientific experiments, but there's no reason for it, because it's already written in text, and they should have gotten enough example by now about, who the true gods are, and who to respect and who to honor, who should be in control of this world, because we think that the Caucasians are in control, but really the gods are in control, because they have never left. And certain people know that. And according to where you live, you may deal with certain racist individuals, because they don't understand the value, the importance of an African American melanated person. Take care, and I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.